Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here at the Javits Center for the New York Auto Show. Walking around, of course, we had to stop at the Hyundai booth because of some big unveils, this being one of them. This is it. This is a 2024 Hyundai Kona. This particular one is the N-Line. But before we get into this redesign of their subcompact crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Hyundai, they've been doing the magic, working their lineup to really bring not only sedans, but also SUVs. It's interesting because they've come a long way since the year 2000 with the OG of all of them, the Santa Fe, and then slowly they built upon that with the Tucson, obviously the Kona, the Venue, so on and so forth. Now, what's interesting is with the Kona, they decided to make some really big changes to bring it closer to the competition, especially from Mazda, Honda, and Toyota. So what I want to find out is, has Kona and Hyundai struck gold with this subcompact crossover SUV? And is this the best new one to buy? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this N-Line and find out. Right off the bat, the size. You actually have a little bit longer Kona, and the wheelbase is longer, but we have less overhang. So what does less overhang mean? That means there's less stuff past the front wheel and past the rear wheel. That's gonna give it a nice, stable driving SUV, but also something that's very maneuverable. Now, at the front of the business, all new, fresh design. Continuing on what Hyundai is doing with their dual lighting setup, you have this lower pod area where we have a unique style to the LED headlights, nicely nestled in this lower area. You'll notice we have illuminated that super thin daytime running lamp that actually will extend from one side to the other. The one zonk I do have is they're using old-fashioned light bulbs for the turn signals. That's a big no-no for a 2024. Now, when it comes to style though, you could see the extra width of the Kona N-Line. And remember, the N-Line brings a little extra performance, but it's all about that extra style as well. We have our N-Line badge with this particular setup, and I expect to see eventually a redesign of the Kona N, which has all the horsepower, the 285 horsepower. Now you'll notice on the bottom portion how they worked the lower front fascia with the gloss black area that extends from one side to the other. On the bottom portion, you do have some functionality. I even like the little touches that they did in the flat black splitter. It's all about the details, and I think that's what Hyundai is really kind of embellishing on, is all of those details to give you a very unique look. Now, as we get up onto the hood, I think what's creating this really futuristic design is how the front fascia kind of wraps up. You have your daytime running lamp, and then look at how the Hyundai badge is almost like totally flush with the hood. Rises up nicely, and you have these two basically straight lines that go towards the windshield. Now, as we come around the bend, with this being an N-Line, you're gonna have some other distinct touches, not only on the front of the vehicle, but also on the side. What we're gonna have are these 19-inch wheels. So very interesting design, falls totally in alignment with the other Hyundai products. Machine aluminum with that dark gray metallic finish. We got the N badge. There will be, like I said, fully redesigned Kona N, but this is the N-Line. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of these tires? 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall. And for the N-Line, they did retune some of the suspension and the braking components to give you a little bit sportier feel. And this is front-wheel drive, remember, not all-wheel drive. Now, going down the side, look at the way that body line comes up and then waterfalls nicely. I like the way all of the fender is painted. The body color matching setup really sparkles nicely. We got an N-Line badge. I like where it's placed. Gloss black on the mirror caps, LED turn signals. We're gonna have a nice oversized sunroof with these flat black raised cross rails. And then of course, you have color match on the door handles, and then more of that unique style, fall in alignment with the Sonata, with the Elantra, that geometric. Hopefully you got an A in geometry, because this will help you appreciate what is happening with the style on the side of the Kona N-Line. Coming into the rear, I really like the way they flare out this portion and it goes into the rear fender area. Very, very unique and stylish all at the same time. And then swinging around back, this is where things finish off in a huge way. Check out this roof spoiler. Love the way it's extended off. Very unique in the style, and I'm gonna show you why. Look at how we have these individual supports, and it's actually split. It's two separate rear wings on the back of this N-Line. The LED third brake light is integrated in between them, but this is a functional piece, plus it looks pretty killer. I wish they would have got rid of this. On the Tucson, they don't have the exposed wiper. On the Kona, they still do, so I am gonna zonk that. That could fit under there perfectly. But along the back, I love the way they did the lighting, just like up front, the Kona badge. And this one does have all-wheel drive. This particular one is an H-Track, so you can get front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with that 1.6-liter turbocharged engine. And then you'll notice along the bottom, this nice diffuser area, and I love the way they did the exhaust, especially with the way they embellished with a nice design around the outer tip. Really kind of has that width. I am gonna zonk this area though. I could do without the fake vent. And that's the one thing, at the front of the vehicle and the back, there's a little bit too much fake vent for me. Would have been nice to have the functionality, but why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and talk about what's new on this Kona. All right guys, here we are inside the new Kona N-Line. If you thought the outside looked good, wait until I take you on a little tour of this interior. Now I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, I want to buy one of these. How much is it? No official pricing yet, but stay tuned for that, and obviously stay tuned for when they will be showing up to dealerships. Of course, we'll be at the media drive when Hyundai hosts that in the next few upcoming months. But comparing this to other subcompact SUVs, I think maybe Hyundai might have raised the bar here. To the door panels, love the way they kept it clean and simple and straightforward. No gloss black, so you don't have to worry about fingerprints anywhere. I like the way it's got a gunmetal metallic kind of color to the door handle, and that door pocket is large enough for two Nathan's hot dogs right from Coney Island and a bottle of Coca-Cola to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, all new on the interior. Love the way they did the finish on the dash with the red trim, you know, bringing a little bit of color from the outside to the inside. You have a nice tray here that will fit at least 5 Twinkies. And then of course, infotainment system, gone is the 8-inch. We have two 12.3-inch screens. And it all kind of blends in nicely from one side to the other. Full touchscreen capability, of course. Your navigation, your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto. Very intuitive, very, very fast reacting. I mean, that's really what this system is all about. Working your way down the start stop button. Look at the AC vents with the red trim. You got your climate controls, dual climate on the bottom portion here. Down below, 2 USB-A's, wireless charging, and I love the way they have heated and ventilated seats. Thank you, Hyundai, for bringing that. Different drive modes. This is an interesting area because it looks like there's no cup holders, but what's great is that you could actually fit, I would say, a 9-inch sub, but if you need cup holders, bam, there's your 2 cup holders. Another little area underneath, because you lift this up, you have storage that's easily grabbed. Of course, you have your tray for quarters so you can get across the Brooklyn Bridge. And then the seats, this is really where it's spot on the money. The stitching, the M badge, all of the red trim, nice bolstering, manual controls for the passenger, but don't worry, the driver gets full power assist, and we have that nice oversized sunroof. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the new wheel of the Kona N-Line. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Now, there is some chiming going on. That's because we're here at the auto show, so don't let that distract you. But down below in the pedal box, what do we have going on? We have a nice size aluminum dev pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. On the driver's seat, look at the way they did the seat controls. Easy to figure out what you're adjusting, and I like the little silver trim. You got the red stitching on the seats. Seats feel comfy. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. And then if you wanted a sporty steering wheel, Hyundai brought it in a very big way. Look at this. Leather wrapped with the M badge. You got the red stitching, just like a Babe Ruth baseball, all the way around. And they're doing just like they do on the Ioniqs, where that is Morse code for the letter H. Flat black on all the on the switchgear, and you have these paddles to go through the 8-speed automatic transmission. And that's the thing. You have a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine, putting out a little over 190 horsepower with that 8-speed automatic. And then of course, we have the other 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, which I can't show you all those functions, but stay tuned because we will be doing the full media drive with this vehicle. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna enjoy riding with you in this Kona N-Line. All right, guys, backseat time in this new Kona, and what you're gonna find is more room and space for the backseat passengers, because guess what? They lengthen that wheelbase, the space in between the front wheels and the rear wheels, to give you more room. Now, you do have the leather, and you do have some smooth, soft touch material on the back of the driver's seat, no pocket, but the good news is they give you 2 USB-Cs and enough room for about 7 Jolly Ranchers, grape, sour apple, watermelon, all the favorite flavors. I wish they would have gave us some rear AC vents back here. That would have been a nice touch, especially because it's so hot in the Javits Center right now. I'm sweating all over the place. I do have a cargo net over here. I could put a couple maps of the old school setup to Manhattan to get around. And then of course the seats are comfy, and what I like about them, it's the same exact materials as the seats up front. A little bit of the nice leather-like material, the microfiber suede material. Pull down the armrest, you have a sturdy place to put your arm with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead? It's still a subcompact, but I want to find out how much room is in the cargo area of this Kona N-Line. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area, show off what the new Kona is bringing. Wait, hold on a second, my phone is ringing. Hello? Oh, hey. Hey, Miles. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'll let them know. No, we still haven't finished the video yet. Thanks for letting us know. All right. If you're wondering who was on the phone, that was Hyundai, one of my friends at Hyundai. They actually said that this is a pre-production, remember, and that, believe it or not, there will be AC vents for those backseat passengers. So thankfully, they gave us a call so we could bring you the correct information, so I will recant that zonk that there's no AC vents, because this one will have it when it reaches your dealership. Now, at the tail end of the business, like I said, love the way they have the aggressive look. You're gonna hit the button, lift it up, nothing super heavy. What's great is you're getting a ton of room. Love how low the cargo floor is. You have, of course, the ability to do a 60-40 split on the rear seat, a nice area to put a gallon of milk. And let's see what's underneath. We picked this up, you do actually have a spare. So in a day and time where a lot of brands are not doing spares, you actually have a spare on this Kona N-Line. But let me know what you think. Of course, we're gonna be driving it, so stay tuned for that. But let me know what you think about this subcompact crossover, getting the big style change, getting the big revisions, the redesign. Is this the best new one to buy? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, we got to give it up to the hardest working camera person in the world, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Thank you, Lori. You get me all choked up. I'm starting to cry. Just how hard you work. So thank you, Lori, for all that. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.